Good afternoon, everybody. It's DC Cookstuff back for a film review with Diana.
Hello.
Hello. Today's film review is Diana's favourite film of all time. I've only watched this twice. The first time did actually confuse me quite badly. It's a very long film. It's 4 hours long, to be fair, but I managed to sit down and watch it. Again, it's Rose Red. So it's from a novel from Stephen King, and obviously most of the people in the world are going to know who Stephen King is anyway, and his style of films. They're kind of like a thriller, horror, psychological kind of film. This one is pretty long. Like I said, it's just over 4 hours long, so you've got to have a reasonable amount of endurance, or you've got to have at least a cigarette break halfway through, or a pint. You wouldn't want to go and see it in the cinema anyway. Sit down in the cinema and watch it in one big hit, would you?
I couldn't, no.
So anyway, as you know, it's a novel based on Stephen King. It's directed by Craig R. Baxley, I want to say. It was released on January 27th, 2002. And it had a cast of Nancy Travis as
Joyce Radin.
It also had Matt Keister
Yeah.
as Stephen Rimbauer, Kimberly J. Brown as Annie Wheaton, I should say, Matt Ross as it was Matt Ross Emery, sorry, I should say, and Julian Sands, who's an English actor who I feel very sorry for in this film, as Nick. So basically the film follows a very obsessive professor who wants to go and investigate this very, very old, creepy house, and picks a certain amount of people to take into this house with them. They all have a certain aspect of psychic energy of some sort, and basically the film leads on and develops from there. That's about as much major knowledge I've got on this film, to be fair, because this is pretty much Diana's film. I've watched it today, but I'm kind of hoping that Diana's going to help me lead the way on this review a little bit. So if we go into we've basically chosen 4 or 5 main cast members in this film. So Nancy Travis is Professor Joyce Radin. I thought she was a nutcase, to be fair.
Yeah, I think she hooked up with Stephen just so she could get into Rose Red myself, because Stephen is the last remaining family member to own this home, or this mansion.
Yeah.
So.
At the beginning of the film, she was quite... You could see that she not obsessed, but she was so keen to get into this house. And like Diana said, she obviously basically got together with Stephen Rimbauer just to try and get into the house. But towards the end of the film, she becomes quite crazy, psychotic. Her role herself, she played it really well, to be fair. I don't think her acting's bad or anything like that. It was just, there was a few little bits of slight overacting in it, but so minimal. It was just, you know, she played the role really, really well. She was quite serious right away from start to finish. There's a bit near the beginning where she cuts her hand. She basically rubs her hand with her own blood. You got to see the scene for yourself. I thought that was a bit messed up, to be fair.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit over the top, but it's a Stephen King film, so you kind of expect some really messed up stuff like that anyway. So all in all, I thought she played the role really well. What do you think?
She did, yeah. I believe so, yeah.
So, moving on to Matt Keister, is that his name? As Stephen Rimbauer. He has got quite a major role in this film, but he doesn't appear in it as much as, say, some of the other cast, does he?
Right.
For me, he was just there to fill in the gaps if you couldn't figure out what was going on, in my eyes anyway. That was his main role. I know he was the last descendant and all that, but to me he was just like there just to fill in those little story gaps through the film, just to keep you kind of on your toes as such. He didn't have a He did have a major role, didn't he? But
Yeah.
he was just there.
His role was basically the owner of this mansion,
Yeah.
is basically what it was. And to keep everyone pretty much together as a group, as a whole.
Yeah. All in all, I thought his performance was quite good. When he was in it, he was quite good. He had this quite good interaction and bond between the little girl, Annie, which we'll get on to, which obviously made the film a little bit better as well. I'm not saying it's a bad film in any way, shape or form. I'm not. Obviously, it's just he was just there just to fill in the gaps then. So, what did you think of him? Good?
I thought he was good, yes.
Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite films, so...
So, yeah. Moving on to Kimberly J. Brown, who plays Annie Wheaton.
Phenomenal actress, I'm just going to say.
She played this role as she was a
15-year-old
autistic teenage girl who actually pretty much nailed this role, to be fair. She didn't have to say a lot, and she didn't, but the role that she did have in there, it was absolutely brilliant. There's a bit at the beginning when you see her as a younger kid. Obviously, it's a different actor, but as a younger kid, you see what kind of power this girl has, like psychic power she has, telekinetic power, and through the film, you do see some pretty impressive stuff from her and what she's doing and all that. And like I said, she really interacts with Stephen Rinbauer in the film. Very, very good. They're like, I think Stephen's kind of like her anchor to the real world to stop her getting sucked into this house and being overtaken by this house in my eyes. So,
right, yeah. Pretty much.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, pretty
And obviously she's a pretty key part of the film. So she's the key of the film. Like I said, I really can't say too much without giving the film away. So then moving on to Matt Ross as Emery. Now, I won't deny this guy's serious. This character
He's nuts.
is absolute arsehole.
Yeah.
I won't deny it. He's an absolute arsehole, but he played a really good arsehole. If you know what I mean, he played it really, really well. Because he had this thing of like going, he may be an arsehole, but the words when it got serious, when people needed to start realising like what was going on, he was there and he told it bluntly to everybody. He said, "This is what's happening. This is what's happening. This is what you've got to do." And to be fair, he was right.
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah.
So he was to me, he was a likable asshole. I didn't quite enjoy him at the beginning because, especially the first time I watched it, I thought he was an absolute arse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the second time I watched it, yes, you still think he's a bit of an arse at the beginning, but towards the end,
Yeah, it fits. It fits the movie though. It fits. It's suitable for him.
yeah,
And I guess every film needs that one particular idiot,
yeah.
which he pretty much is.
I mean, he did play it well. I won't deny it. So in my eyes, I think he done a really good job, especially when it comes when you see the film. When it gets to there's a certain point in there where something happens to him. Anything after that, if you listen to what he says, you know you don't like kind of what he's hearing, but you know he's right.
Right. Yeah.
You know what he's saying is actually right and what needs to be done. So I thought he played it really well, and there's a bit right at the very end where his attitude is very different. You know, he's a changed person from having this experience in this house afterwards, and it's a welcome change, to be fair.
Yeah.
But like I said, during the film he was brilliant. So now, and so in my eyes, I thought he was quite good. What do you think?
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going on to
I love them all though.
yeah, I know. Now moving on to Julian Sands. Now, if you don't know who Julian Sands is, he is an English actor. He is from Great Britain. And I feel so very sorry for this guy. I seriously do. Because obviously the script was written by Americans for an English actor. No offence.
No. But in all fairness to Americans, because I would never know that unless I was over here, unless I have visited or knew someone over here, I would have never known that you don't go chin chin and
It was like basically the writers obviously put it into the fact of like old time British talk, like Diana said. There's a line in this that goes chin chin, and that comes. It made me cringe hearing him say that, and it was like, oh, there's a few lines like that in there. I know I like Julian Sands as an actor because he plays Dr. Crane in the Gotham first series of Gotham. I actually generally do like him as an actor, especially as a British actor. He's very cool, and in this film, he was really good. So apart from the script, his role in there was actually really good because pretty much from the start, when he meets everybody else, he knows pretty much the crack of what's going on. So he knows he knows everything because he's a mind reader anyway. He was brilliant. He was a significant part of the film, and when something happens to him, he is. I do feel kind of sorry for him because he's British, and I'm British anyway, so stiff upper lip and all that kind of stuff. You've always got to root for the British to survive in a horror film from America, but luckily it never happens.
Chin chin.
All the British always get killed in a horror film. So in my eyes, he had a big part to play in that film, and he played it well. And what do you think?
He was amazing. Yeah, I like him anyway. So
like I said, there are many other people in this cast. There's
Cissy
Wheaton, which is the sister of Annie. She is not in that film all that much, to be fair.
Right.
And
Kathy Kramer.
Yeah, Kathy Kramer. She's not really in it that much as such, is she? So.
Right. Pam Asbury.
But yeah, they all have their role to play in the film. They all fitted it very well. I would love to talk about them a bit more, but unfortunately we need to keep this video quite short. So, all in all, the music was a classic Stephen King music anyway. It was creepy, eerie.
The special effects, amazing.
For a B movie, yeah, the special effects were quite good. It's not a high budget film. I couldn't find out how much this film was made for, but for the special effects they had for this B movie, it was actually quite good. And like I said to you when we were watching it, almost felt like 4 or 5 episodes joined together to make one film, which chances are it probably was, to be fair. But all in all, I actually quite enjoyed it. It's one that you've got to have the patience to sit down and watch, though, isn't it? It's a long film, and I had to watch it twice to understand it. And the only reason why I understood it the second time is because Diana was here, so she kind of filled in the gaps about a couple of things that happened in the film. But it's a Stephen King film, so it's going to be naturally creepy. Like I said, there were some very poorly cut scenes in the film. I won't deny that, but they're so minor. And the difference between me and you is that I was looking for that, and you were just.
But I've watched it like a million times.
So.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of my favorite films. So, and I own it. So.
I highly recommend the film. If I was to rate it out of 10, I'd give it a good 8.5 out of 10 myself. I'm pretty sure Diana would give it a 10 out of 10. So. Give the film a watch because it is worth the watch. I really, really is. So, if you like my review, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give it a thumbs down. Give the video a share. Go onto my Facebook page and give that a like. Give it a share. I'll put the link in the description down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And this is also the last video with me and Diana together because Diana's going back to the US tomorrow. But it's been very nice to have some help doing these videos as well. So I hope you have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. I shall see you all very soon. Just goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
See you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.